All right, this is getting bad. The conservative movement is fully cooked. There is a civil war brewing within the party that not even Trump can control. And I want to run you all up to speed. We have no time to waste, so let's just jump in with some of the core facts over the past week or so. We saw Nick Fuentes hop on Tucker Carlson's podcast. Tucker Carlson gave him a very friendly interview, no pushback whatsoever, no questions about any of the really controversial comments, and that's downplaying it. No questions about the insane anti-Semitism, the Holocaust denial, and that's still downplaying it. And this interview got tens of millions of views. So people were looking towards the leaders of the conservative movement, people like J.D. Vance or Kevin Roberts, who's the head of the Heritage Foundation, to condemn this. And rather than condemning it, it seems like they're muddying the waters. They are emboldening this, and there are some lines being drawn. I mean, someone said, this is a historical moment, and every Jew should watch this. The Heritage Foundation is the intellectual cornerstone of the Republican Party, and here it embraces Fuentes as a legitimate part of right-wing discourse. I mean, before we even get into like the super intellectualism of it, just watch this creator who seems to have just started to get some momentum in the conservative sphere, kind of just being like, what the hell, guys?
If these are the types of individuals that we have to click up with in the conservative movement, I'm good. No, I'm all the way good. See, the first and only reason I consider myself to be a conservative was because of the values that we hold. Therefore, when we start to compromise on those values by letting in a complete clown show, Exhibit A, Exhibit AA. I'm not even going to put them on B because they're the same. They're the same ilk. These two right here. Now, here's the thing. I do not believe in censorship unless it is self-censorship, personal censorship, which means I have the right to shut these clown shows up in my life.
I mean, what he's saying makes total sense if you've ever heard a clip of Nick Fuentes.
There is an occult element at the high levels of society, and specifically among the Jews.
He talks a lot about the Jewish people. Listen to how he talks about it.
So many of the people that are perpetrating the lies and the destruction on the country, they are evildoers. They are people that worship false gods. They are people that practice magic or rituals or whatever. And more than anything, those people need to be, when we take power, they need to be given the death penalty.
So there's a reason why, if you hear what he's saying, there's a reason why the lines need to be drawn. So nobody like this can ever take power. But the unfortunate reality is Nick Fuentes has been playing the game very well lately, the podcast game. He's been going on podcast after podcast, climbing up the ladder. And those clips get tens of millions of views online and all these algorithms. And he's winning a lot of fans over, a lot of young people I knew in high school. I see reposting and liking his stuff. That's why we need to be out there in these spaces as well. That's why I'm going out there and doing it. But okay, to continue with the MAGA Civil War, you see how, minority creators that are minorities feel about this. They're like, what the hell? Why is this being emboldened? So this dude, who his name is Academic LA, he said, this is a historical moment. He has like an academic breakdown of this, and every Jew should watch this. The Heritage Foundation is the intellectual cornerstone of the Republican Party, and here it embraces Fuentes as a legitimate part of right-wing discourse. The pretense of Nazism being unacceptable on the right, it never was, is gone. This comes after Vance did not dispute claims that Judaism was based on discrimination against Christians. Yes, the American vice president and the premier think tank of the right legitimized open anti-Semitism within 24 hours. How did this happen? Many on the right gave a pass to anti-Semitism as long as the GOP supported Israel, even as it became more open. That was a sentiment among right-wing Israel supporters. Now they are finding that naked anti-Semitism is worse, and support for Israel has eroded too. The Faustian bargain has ended predictably. The mainstream of conservatism has embraced this anti-Semitism, and we're going to watch this clip because this is an important clip. It has 13.5 million views. Everybody is mad about it. So Yashar Ali said, a watershed moment. The president of the Heritage Foundation and the Heritage Action, Kevin Roberts, has announced that the organization is standing by Tucker Carlson in the aftermath of Tucker's interview with neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes. This isn't Kevin bending his knee to Trump. This is something new. In his statement, Kevin condemns what he calls a venomous coalition that is trying to sow division by attacking Tucker. But he's not going to say that the venomous coalition on the far, far right of anti-Semites, of Holocaust deniers, of really, really racist people, he's not going to say those people are, sowing venom. He said that venomous coalition includes MAGA Republicans, as well as Jewish conservative commentators, activists, donors. Kevin also frames Nick Fuentes' rhetoric as worthy of debate rather than as something to be condemned outright. Here's the problem, Kevin Roberts, as we are about to watch this video. There was no debate happening. Nick Fuentes was on Tucker Carlson's podcast with no pushback, telling his story, no pushback, no skepticism, and no engagement beyond just, oh, really? Oh, wow. You know that Tucker Carlson face that he makes? Listen, I'm not even asking for Tucker Carlson to just be shut down and shut out entirely. I'm not asking for Tucker Carlson to be quote unquote canceled. He has like the number 3 podcast. We're beyond canceling him. He has an audience. What I'm asking is for a little bit of moral clarity inside the conservative movement, and all of the leaders are failing. Kevin Roberts, who helped spearhead Project 2025, by the way, is failing. J.D. Vance is failing because he keeps siding with the Groypers over his wife. Kevin Roberts is releasing this video defending Tucker Carlson. I'm not asking him to sit there and try to shit on Tucker Carlson and say F you. It's not even that. I'm not even asking for him to specifically do that. But I'm asking for him to draw some lines. When you're going to say that it's okay to debate these ideas, Tucker Carlson wasn't debating these ideas. This guy should at least say, this is not who we are. This is about moral boundaries. It's as simple as that. This is not about cancel culture. It's not about all of that. Nick Fuentes should be pounced on anytime he's in the public based on his most controversial comments. How come he's going on dozens of podcasts, and nobody's asking him about any of his comments, none of his comments in the past? Okay, so let's watch this video. Let's see what he says. He does condemn anti-Semitism, but it kind of means nothing when every single person is mad at you.
I'll have more to say on this in the coming days, but today I want to be clear about one thing. Christians can critique the state of Israel without being anti-Semitic. And of course, anti-Semitism should be condemned. My loyalty as a Christian and as an American is to Christ first and to America always. When it serves the interests of the United States to cooperate with Israel and other allies, we should do so, with partnerships on security, intelligence, and technology. But when it doesn't, conservatives should feel no obligation to reflexively support any foreign government, no matter how loud the pressure becomes from the globalist class or from their mouthpieces in Washington.
And this part is fine.
The Heritage Foundation didn't become the intellectual backbone of the conservative movement by canceling our own people or policing the consciences of Christians. And we won't start doing that now. We don't take direction from comments on X, though we are grateful for the robust free speech debate. We also don't take direction from members or donors, though we are inherently grateful for their support. And we're adding more every day. This is the robust debate we invite with our colleagues, our movement friends, our members, and the American public. We will always defend truth. We will always defend America, and we will always defend our friends against the slander of bad actors who serve someone else's agenda.
Oh my Lord. Okay. So there's a lot wrong here. He first starts off with nothing bad, saying we don't serve any other foreign country. We don't serve this. That's actually fine. I think separation from serving Israel is a good thing overall. The problem here is that he's now saying we're just going to protect our friends. The friend you're talking about is Tucker Carlson, who before he had Nick Fuentes on, had someone who was essentially saying that Hitler was a good guy, that the good guys lost World War II. Think about what that means. The good guys lost World War II. Someone was saying that on Tucker's podcast, essentially. He was saying all of this crazy stuff, and Tucker never pushed back. Then Tucker follows that up with a Nick Fuentes interview, where Fuentes says he's a fan of Stalin. Tucker never pushes back against any of this. The Holocaust denial, all of this anti-Semitism, that's the friend that you're trying to defend from bad faith actors. I think the bad faith actors are the far right people who are pressuring this movement. But I think we're looking at it.
That includes Tucker Carlson, who remains, and as I have said before, always will be a close friend of the Heritage Foundation.
That's fine. Ask your friend to push back.
The venomous coalition attacking him are sowing division. Their attempt to cancel him will fail. Most importantly, The American people expect us to be focusing on our political adversaries on the left, not attacking our friends on the right. I disagree with, and even abhor, things that Nick Fuentes says. But canceling him is not the answer either. When we disagree with a person's thoughts and opinions, we challenge those ideas in debate.
You guys know what I'm going to say. Tucker did not challenge any of Fuentes' ideas. That's one of the huge problems. It was an open platform to boost all of the crazy stuff. Someone said, one of the most cowardly displays of leadership I've ever seen. This moron doesn't realize the mob will eat him first. The Heritage Foundation is dead. If this is indicative of their moral backbone, or they can rightfully rebrand themselves as the Heritage American Foundation. Someone said, my mother was a Heritage board member for 40 years. You have befouled her, you rancid wretch of an amoeba. Okay, that's some intense stuff. Someone said, the Heritage Foundation is afraid of Tucker Carlson and his audience. The fringe is now the mainstream, and one of the most powerful institutions in the American right is bending the knee. That is the scale of what's happening. Debbie Schlussel said, Heritage Foundation has always been, some people are taking it really, really far. Some right-wingers are really pissed at this. Heritage Foundation has always been funded by a ton of Arab state money. It is funded by Qatar to the tunes of millions. That's why when Muslim Grover Norquist demanded town hall, dump me for writing against Palestinian terrorists, they did. Okay, I don't know the personal drama here, but this person is pissed. They're thinking the Heritage Foundation is now on the side of the Muslim countries because of the anti-Semitism that they are emboldening within the conservative movement, and it's messed up. The leaders need to draw the lines and not be beholden to the most extremes, the most fringes. I mean, I personally am of the opinion that the Democratic Party's brand has been weakened or softened by some people on the fringes. For example, Democratic leaders are oftentimes moderate, center-left. They will condemn violence when they see it. They take, rather center-left moderate positions, most of them. And that's a complaint of a lot of people in the party. But our party is drawn as if we are all the most extreme person on a college campus, right? Now, the Republican Party is actually filled with those people at the highest levels, the extremes in their party. So sometimes it bothers me when the Democrats are beholden to people. That's why we need moral leaders to condemn this with moral clarity, because the right doesn't do that. I'm going to leave it there. If you appreciate the frameworks that we introduce on this channel, double check to make sure you subscribe below. I love you all, and peace out.